Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some more Satisfactory. It's I was going to say how many streams we've done. I don't know how many streams I've done. It must be 8 or 9, I guess, on this. This is a revival series where I'm actually playing version 1.0. If this microphone will stay still. Yes, so this is an attempt to play through version 1. Obviously, version 1.1 is about to launch. They're doing the same thing to me again. Let's just check me levels and everything. Yeah, we've got all the audio coming through. Is it actually live on the channel, though? That's always the big question. We certainly appear to have some video. Excellent. Got all paranoid. I was saying yesterday, I got all paranoid after the errors I'd had last few weeks of it. Microphones not connecting and all sorts of things. Yes, this series, as I say, is playing through version 1.0. Obviously, they will put 1.1 out, I'm sure, into main branch. It's not the experimental one, but I'm sure that will hit before I finish this. So we will get all of the benefits of whatever it is, merger priority and all sorts of clever stuff they've added. I did play a bit during the week because I wanted to make sure that we could finish whatever it's called, phase 3 on the space elevator, which is this bad boy here. We do have, as you can see, stuff queued up on the belt because we have stacked up enough stuff to do the next level. So we might as well kick off with that. I think I'm gonna. Should I take this out of the way? Not entirely sure what that was doing, but get it out of the way so we can have a nice look at what's going on. I also have a whole load of material queued up to do. As you can see on the right, we've got the list of like I can't remember what it calls them, the like to-do list, and I've got all of that in chests. So we've got a whole load of man research to do. There's certainly that milestone that's flagged, the railway signalling. That's, you know, I've got the stuff for that. I'm pretty sure I've got most things for most of the milestones that we haven't done in this current phase. So I'm expecting to do a whole load of, you know, ticking the boxes, researches to start this off. And then I'm thinking I'll probably work on train blueprints, but I don't know. What I really need to do, the next thing I do before I really even start on the next phase, which I wouldn't be able to do because I'm sure it will be hidden behind a research. But what I need to do is basically refactor the bases that I've done, so rebuild them. So maybe if we could do that, and I'll just sort of spend the, stream tearing things apart. But for now, let us do the important thing. Get the seals in place.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed. You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to Tiers 7 and 8 in the hub. In fact, perhaps you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues. Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts. Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you know the average pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway, I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
And off we go. Up she goes. Oh. I should have done this at night, aren't they? Shouldn't I? Because you can't really... Oh, there we go. It's cleared out the clouds.
Phase 3 of Project Assembly completed. Fixit's predictions indicate pioneers should generally reach this point faster with above-average results, but we should all adjust our expectations according to the situation. It is understandable. The pressure and complexity will only increase from here, so be sure to take on Phase 4 with efficiency and competence.
Whatever it's building up there is pretty big. All done? Yeah, down she comes. And the clouds return. Okay, so what we actually got on that. Do we have to make? Yeah, we have to make 4 things. None of them are huge numbers though, but clearly not anything we've been making before, so we don't get the cheat of one carrying over. Okie dokie. We'll have to see if any of them use any of the previous stuff, because I have been. They're sat on the belts, a few of them, but there's actually, you know, quite a few. I think one of them still. This one is still coming, so that's still running. But these are like there's like a full container of them, and probably them as well. So hopefully we get to reuse them. But yes, let's do the other bits and pieces that we've got sort of stacked up. I did prep this here, so I could just throw that in there. I did make a jetpack as well. I don't know if I did that on stream or not, but I'm not actually a big fan of the jetpack. It's sort of, you know, it's like it's really just a sort of big jump, really, or to stop you when you're falling. But I don't. It runs out of fuel so quickly. The other one's really good. Let's do the milestone first, because that'll take some time to come back. So we need 400 of them. Whoops. A 4,000. Oh, I've not got enough sheets. Let's grab some more. Oops. There we go. So this will get us the signalling for rails, which obviously I kind of want for the blueprints.
Milestone reached. Train signals placed on train rails can control and improve train behavior. This helps to avoid events where multiple trains attempt to occupy the same physical location. For information related to earlier train events, please refer to your employee non-disclosure agreement.
Blueprints Mark II is the one we really want. It's really dependent. I don't know if it's how many of them it's made, because they were obviously a very low production amount. But we certainly have, you know, the rubber, and I've probably got the computers somewhere, and the concrete, obviously. I wonder if, yeah, that's also them. And this is where we get into the new stuff. I mentioned this on stream actually yesterday. I did the whichever it one. Was it jet? No, it wouldn't have been jetpack. Was it Logistics 4? Yeah, I did Logistics 4 as part of the between streams thing, because I wanted the truck, because it has like I think it's more than double the capacity. So that meant I could just do one trip back and forth to pick up rubber and plastic for the build. But everything else, I think we've done on stream. So our choice is really only between these two to finish off 6. This, as I say, it's the one we want, but we need 100 of them and 50 of them. So if we've only got 50, we might as well just tick that box. What we should be able to do is go up to the other site, and in fact, why don't I just quickly do that? We should be able to turn off whatever. I might well have done it, but in fact, I think I probably have. Turn off whatever it's turning the heavy modular frames into. Oh, this platform, I did the achievement. You can basically get on top of the manta ray, the giant manta ray. I wonder if it's coming around. And when you get on top of it, you get the option to pet it, basically. So, where's that? That must be on the top level. I wonder if it's coming around. Oops, missed. No, missed again. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way over there. But you can fly all the way around. It does a full circuit, and it doesn't go like out of bounds on the map or anything. So you can fly all the way around. So that was one of the ways I was killing time. You see, waiting for this. So we've got nothing stored in there. Ah, they're on the belt. That's good. There's only 16 in that machine. Okay. So what I'm thinking is we cut that out. How many have I now got? 37. Okay. Instead we kind of Oh, I could have left that there, couldn't I? But if we put in a storage container, assuming I've got the bits, and get it to put them in a box rather than, so I don't have to mess about with. Did any more end up in there? No. You see it's got 50 computers. Okay. So we've only got 50 computers, okay. So we probably have to go and get some more of them anyway. Let's, you know, put them in a box type of thing. Rubber. It should be in one of these. Is that, no, that's not rubber. Is this rubber? Yeah. So we'll just make sure we've got the bits and pieces. Obviously the concrete's already over there. Yeah, so heavy modular frames we are lacking. What's any, if any, regular modular frames are coming up, presumably? It's one of the ones I've done a belt under the, you know, along the floor, basically, I think. It's this one that goes a mad journey around here. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. I don't know where it is. So, this is why we need to refactor. Oh, there we go. There's modular frames coming in there. And I bet there's a bunch stacked up in here, yeah. What are you actually making? Are you needed? No, you're making a versatile framework, so we can actually... What is that? That's a splitter. What's this? This is a merger. Need them to be the other way around, really, don't I? So we go that. Wait, let me put a functioning merger in there. Is that frame going to pass through? Doesn't look like it, does it? No, it's stuck. Okay. Get me key correct in a minute. So if we take that out of there. Pop her in there. And get them moving through the system. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully it'll sort of focus on making heavy modular frames. It is ready to go, the next blueprint. Milestone, then. The Mark II blueprinter. Now, have we got any... Yeah, we've got computers in there, okay. So we would literally be short 100 of them. If we were to switch that to the other one, pipeline, we couldn't quite do this, could we? No, because we've got 37. Okay. So we can't do either of them, is the basic message. But, while we wait for it to chug through, we can do a whole load of MAM stuff. Now, what have I got queued up? We've got inflated pocket damage. No wonder where that is. Expanded tool belt's one of them, isn't it? Yeah.
Tool belt expanded. I compounded sulfur's tristatic atom matrix into a quadrimensional gate vortex. You can now carry more stuff.
Okay. Was there anything that make... I don't think we had... No, because I'd have to make a few bits I don't have yet. We've not actually encountered any SAML. Now, was this high-speed connector? Is that one of them? Yeah, it is. Here we go. So we start research on that one.
Research completed. High-speed connector recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Oh, no pithy remark on that one. What about power pump ups? I don't think I did them, did I? No. What about the power switch? Was that one on? No. Smart splitter? No. We have got some of them, so I assume there's something I'm planning on doing with those. I suspect expanded tool belt might have been one here, yeah.
Tool belt expanded. The latest data indicates that the mycelia possess sentience. Don't worry, we have been given permission to harvest and repurpose their remains.
Wow. Brutal. We don't have any of that, whatever it is, the waste plastic, but I think I'm putting some in there. But I was going to do that, I'm sure, yeah, because that is actually hugely useful, the gas mask. So it lets you get close to the fart things without fart
Research
blocks.
completed. Gas mask and filter unlocked. Mycelia fabric is highly absorbent, making it more effective at toxic gas filtration than the standard issue Pioneer helmet. A pleasant pine scent is included. Gas filters require regular replacement for optimal safety.
Yeah, they don't last long at all from memory. Well, they didn't used to. What have we got then? So probably nutrients is complete, isn't it? Power slugs. I can't do anyway because of the thing we don't have. Was I going to do shatter rebars? No. Was I? It's in my to-do list. Okay, that's fine.
Shatter rebar unlocked. These quartz-infused rebars fracture when fired, launching deadly debris in a wide spread. Fix-It does not condone the use of such violent methods, so make sure there are no witnesses.
Do it, but don't tell us. Crystal ocelots. See, I had loads of these queued up because I had loads of time.
Research completed. Crystal oscillator recipe unlocked. New quartz research available.
Yeah. Clearly, I guess they haven't updated some of them. And then there's that one. You know, just sort of left them basically.
Pocket dimension now extra dimensionalized with additional dimensional capacity.
I think that must have meant now rather than no. Smokeless powder, I'm sure was one. Yeah.
Research completed. Smokeless powder recipe unlocked. New sulfur research available for the development of high-end weaponry and ammunition.
Cool. So we need to make the smokeless powder so I can get the rifle. Is it in here or is it the other one? Smokeless powder. I don't see it. That's the black powder. Can I not make it? Am I just being super dumb? AI limiters. Not there, is it? What does it say the recipe is here? Oh, it doesn't. But if we go with that. Oh, okay. So it requires... requires oil. Okay. It'll only take sort of 5 minutes or so to make everything we need, though, to do the research. I'm sure we'll need it to actually make the ammo. But that's everything there. Okay. So, take all of them. We needed more computers, didn't we? I think. So this research. Fix it. It's just if we're going over there, we might as well take the bigger truck. Bring a load of plastic and rubber back, if there is plastic. It was sort of not really producing any spare plastic. It was like, even though there's meant to be 10 extra. I think it might have been because some of it was going into the, you know, the fuel canisters. But yeah, we'll have to see. So if we need computers anyway, we might as well do a round trip. It looks like I could do the computers, but it leaves me with none. So if we pop, say, 100 computers in there, we'll pop, I can't remember how many it was. I think it was 400 or something, wasn't it? I've got a lot of motors. Why have I got so many motors? I guess from where I was messing about. But they might have been used in something, I guess. Do we want to take anything over there in particularly? Don't think I do, really. I'm not... Well, I suppose we ought to, because... Although there is the chests out there. If we're going to make smokeless powder... then I need to be able to make a refinery or two. Assuming I can make smokeless powder. I'll have to go this way, I think. Seem to remember this is slightly slower. I say the carry capacity more than compensates. Get out of the way. Right. See if we can ramp it off here. Oops. Getting quite a collection of alien bits there. I'll pick them up at some point. So yeah, plan really today is probably to work on the blueprints when we eventually get round to it for rail, so that I can. Well, the big bases I build are, you know, rail kind of compliant. If you see what I mean. I'm thinking something two-directional. No, I don't think you can include rail lines in blueprints. You weren't able to before, but maybe they've added that. But either way, I basically need the platform, you know, the actual platforms, as it were, so that I can just stick them down and I can connect up the rail to them. Tempted, although I don't think I can probably afford it. I'm tempted to incorporate the old. Also, with 1.1, because it'd be nice to have the hypertubes running alongside the rail. But with 1.1, if they're putting in rather the you know, the actual the hypertube junctions, it's probably best to just wait for that. Maybe I could set up so it's got the actual, you know, I don't know, it calls them like the holders in, the connectors or something. Silly thing. There's blooming loads of them. I don't remember there being so many before. Okay, how many pooters we got? 200 of your finest pooters. Okay. Good. Put them in there. Oh, it's got a whole load of stuff in it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't remember doing that. It's all stacked up, you see. This is what we like. We need 1,000, don't we? But we need like 400 for the other one. There is a load over there. Let's see how much we can actually put in. Yeah, we got loads of rubbish. It should be full. In fact, it's probably causing us problems. It's probably backed up. Maybe one for luck. Oops. This is why I love this big thing, because carrying a load of rubbish and then put all the stuff in. What about these things? Have you stacked up any of them? Probably not. Oh no, wrong. Let's take a couple of hundred of them as well then. The great thing of automation games where you just leave it chugging away, you go and do other things, and then it's made you absolutely loads. Cool. Cool. Right, let us head over to... it was refinery, wasn't it, that we needed? Oops. Yeah. Growly. Discovered you can hold C. I'll have to time it. Okay. Now, it was a refinery, and I think it was this stuff, wasn't it? Let's just build one and see what it in theory needs. Smokeless powder, here we go. So you need heavy oil residue. Oh, and black powder, which of course I didn't bring. Bum. Do we have any sulfur? I hear no ping. Oh, crikey. All the way over there. In fact, we've just kind of driven past the sulfur. In fact, I think I wasn't I? No. There's a sulfur one that, yeah, the sulfur one I put a machine on is like over here somewhere, isn't it? There's a deuterium that we're... Not sure. So they're blooming miles away. That's annoying. Okay, so... It's the heavy oil residue you need. Which I don't know that there'll be that much of that. Knocking them out, well then we don't need loads. We don't need loads. And this is all connected here. Oh, I've got a wonky pipe. Oh dear. Okay, so if we would put in, say, a quick and dirty refinery, where? Here maybe? Let's put it, where is the actual connection? That one there. So if we put it, say, here, and then we can just have a connecting pipe. Yeah, let's move that down a little bit. And then I can put a container in. Yeah. So, which side is it? It's on the left side, isn't it? So if we put that there, say, put a container here. What have I done there? What have I done there? And what do I want on 3? I want belt, don't I? So I have to go in there. Worked out how to do this. Logistics, and then we go 3. There we go. Okay. And power pole. Container on the end. And let's make this powder. So it will, you know, siphon away a bit of the old heavy oil residue. Excess will probably come from the fact that, yeah, the rubber isn't really doing anything. You know, it's all stacked up. So it's not going to be using that. Okay, so that's ready to go, assuming we can make some gunpowder. Assuming we can make some gunpowder. Do we want to maybe put an actual production machine? Because it would be an assembler, wouldn't it? Which I can't make because I'm missing rotors. Where did I put them? Chests. Do. Is that a rotor? That's a rotor. So if we put our assembler here. Oops. Here, if we can go in the right place. That there, you can make black powder. Let's put oh no. Okay, so if I can get some coal and some sulfur, then we can just sort of stick them in those chests. Oops! That'd be me falling off. So coal we know we can get from nearby. If we go get that coal. Oops. Finally, I must have some particularly tough knees. Yeah, but we know that coal is kind of, well, certainly coal is probably coming in here. I don't think I'm sticking it in a chest or anything, but... Oops, no, that wasn't high enough. Where's this coal coming? So it's coming in here. Which must mean these furnaces are absolutely jam-packed. Lots of lovely coal. We could do the old belt grabby as well. Now, sulfur. How close are we to it now? I have a feeling I know where this is. And it's in a cave full of spiders. The one that's in this direction. Where is that one? We'll go for that one then. What symbol do I want to give it? I'll give it a explosion. So we're going to have to go and find that, basically. Do we head back first? Because I'm kind of full. So I remember I'm sure I set one up with sulfur. Yeah, it's the one over here in the red forest. Yeah, let's head back. So I'm pretty sure that's... Oh, I didn't grab any fuel, did I? I was going to grab some fuel. No. We'll get back. But yeah, we'll see if we can't ping the sulfur over back at the main base. Because I'm pretty sure it's over there. Yeah, the Caterium was the one on the falls. And then the sulfur was the one in the... it's not the red desert, is it? The red forest? Something like that. I mean, I'm not making... You know, I should start making the... Whatever it's called. The blue plastic stuff. Or the blue plastic chunk piece things. I don't know what it calls them. Oh, they're not actually plastic, I think. Because then we can make, you know, cloth. And then we can make gas masks. Or the filters for the gas masks, anyway. Actually, that's a bit of sulfur there, isn't it? I wonder if the other one, does this thing. What does that have on it? No. No, that's for weird bits and pieces, isn't it? Oh, of course I got an extra hand slot. What do we want on there? Put you on... I guess might as well have that as a default thing. I think I've got some sulfur in the chest as well, back at the hub. I think so, anyway. Cool. I sort of assumed you could make the smokeless powder, you know, using, you know, it's like more sulfur in it or something like that, rather than modifying regular powder. That's sulfur as well. Well, let's grab that. Is it? No, that's concrete. It's also got some bugs next to it that I don't want to deal with. Bit of a strange morning, to be honest with you, and early part of the day. I continued on with blueprints. I finally got one of the things I think that I'm struggling with it, and why I wasn't really seeing what everyone else was seeing, is that it didn't really present the puzzle. I mean, there are puzzles that it goes, you know, here's a puzzle, basically. Here's a mechanism for you to play with. And they were really simple, you know, and I sort of... One of them involves like a coding thing, and I basically worked it out before I even found the note that told you how to do it. Because it was so simple, you know, it wasn't complicated at all. And so I was like, is that it? Is these the puzzles people are raving about? As, you know, whee! Okay. All of the physics, all of the time. But no, that's not what the people, you know, that's not what people are referring to, basically. There's sort of some meta puzzling going on, basically. And I've stumbled into the first one of those. I kind of thought there must be something like that, because there's all sorts of stuff sitting around in the rooms, and it's like, well, why would this be here? What would the point of this be, other than being a puzzle? I was going to check the reason I came this way. Check how many heavy... We needed 13, didn't we, to do that one. So I'm doing it in the back because they'll be in here. 28. Okay, so we can at least do that research. A milestone. And yeah, I think I've stumbled across it, you know, and I think and it's quite complicated, to be honest with you, which is good because to say that that's clearly what people were referring to. No, missed. I say whether I think it's the most amazing thing that's ever happened, which some people seem to. I don't know. We want that, and we want them. Let's see what we can do. So we had to get them in. If I just put these in here, and we could put the pooters in as well. And we might as well sort of dump some other stuff. So I managed to pick up 20 sulfur. There's no sulfur in there. Didn't one of these have sulfur? Come on, guys. Come on. There we go. Loads of sulfur. Oh, and loads of powder as well. Okay. If we put big frames in as well, put them in there. And what else? If I just maybe store some like rando stuff in here. Them. Okay, that gets me a bit more room. So yeah, loads of powder. Actually, you're petroleum coke, aren't you? Is that what that is? Yeah. Okay. See, it'd be nice just to hop in a hypertube, basically, to go back and forth between the two bases. That's kind of what I'm thinking about building them in, but I know they're very power hungry. Put that in there, take that out, put that back and that in, put them in, sort. Okay, take out the rubber. I think if I just sort of maybe trim what this has got in it down. I'm going to put that in the box. Did I put all the... So I got all the gunpowder in there, which should be more than enough to make what we want. We've got the coal in there, sulfur. We could take more of these out. Oh, I'm full. Anything I could put in that we want to take with us? The AI limiters. Clearly was intending to use them for something, but it's not tagged on the other thing now. So I don't know what that was. I do know the motors are needed. Let's put the AI limiters in there because they're a bit useless. Yeah, then I'm gonna... Again, it's my Factorio instincts of hoarding stuff rather than just dumping it because it's useless. We're going to put the rubber up. In fact, we could do pipelines, couldn't we? Yeah. If I... what do we want to dump? If we dump... none of that stuff. Maybe put these in here. Bad chest to put it in, but there we go. Do that. That should give me enough room to pick up this rubber. And I say, do we want to do them? We might as well. Might as well.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are reported instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
There you go. Pipe fixation. So this is our next one, and we can obviously put the rubber in as we've... Oh, let me put him in, will it? But we need 400 and stuff. Let's just have a quick butcher's at what the next lot are, because we get into needing aluminium. Got to do a whole thing there. You see, you start to need these, which are, you know, expensive, difficult to produce. And then the next one requires aluminium, so you've got to do the bauxite first. That requires aluminium. Then we've got the gas filter, which we aren't even making, but that gives us the radiation resistance. And we need them, which are also aluminium. We need both of them there. So basically, to do anything in tier 7, we've got to start exploiting aluminium, which is a little bit of a complicated recipe. But then we've got these RCUs, aluminium, and all sorts of things. Nuclear power. Give us the juice we need. What is that? A supercomputer. Interesting. A supercomputer, eh? Where were they then in the... They must be in here somewhere, they? Oh, there we go. Superb computers. Yeah, because that gives you your blender. Advanced aluminium production. For advanced aluminium. Nitrogen gas. Leading edge production. That's your motors and your... Okay. And there we're into the... Are we into them? Yeah, so these things are them. Particle enrichment. Doesn't that give us one? Yeah, it gives us the pasta. That from memory takes like yonks to even make one. I didn't even make them. I just got to a point of burnout really before I got to that. So what else does it need? Them. I wonder where they're from. And then 500 of them. Those look like the... Yeah, no, they're not turbo motors, are they? What are they then? What are they? Oh, well, that's that. Magnetic field generator. Where are they from then? Are they in this control thing as well? There they are. Assembly director system. Extremely fast and precise computing system is specifically designed to direct the project assembly phase. Okay. Okay. But yeah, we're focused on 6. We want this milestone, which means we can pop the bits in a box. That was just me randomly dumping stuff, wasn't it? So we needed 100 computers, which we've got. We need a total of 85 more of those. Don't need plastic, but we do need rubber. And then we need 1,500 of your finest concretes. So 400 rubber. I've got 200 computers, but I don't really need them. And we could chuck the rubber Plastic that way. I'm kind of happy I got enough sulfur and stuff to do what we need to do for the smokeless powder, so I'm not going to go and get that. I didn't realise I'd sort of stocked up so much. I will just check that I've not got left in here. There's more random stuff. Oh, part of the whole refactoring is going to be me basically discovering chests that have got 37 iron plates in and 18, steel pipes and stuff like that. Okay, so able to do that next milestone. Woo! Bouncy truck. Come on. Oh look, there's a crash site on the top there. I haven't said it yet, have I? So, I set the memberships live on YouTube. If that's something you would be interested in, it gets you early access. I mean, it gets you a whole load of, there's like a load of default stuff where you get a badge against your name. I've just stuck with the default badges. I'm hoping I can change them at some point, both in terms of it'll let me change them, but also that, I don't know, maybe pay for an artist to do little symbols or something. I don't know. I don't really know what would be an appropriate thing, really. I don't really have branding. Just that sort of highly stylized picture of my face. But yes, I set it live yesterday. There is, but so well. The main thing I said, it gets you some default stuff, badges, highlighted messages in chat, and things like that. But what it really gets you is early access to my YouTube videos. I have started a new series where I'm speculating about Factorio lore. Put a lot of effort into the first one. It's got some issues. There are quite a few technical issues with it. Where I discovered that my lovely expensive DSLR camera had decided to focus on I don't know what, so I'm out of focus for quite a lot of it. But I kind of tried to inject more humour into the thing, because I know that, I mean, who cares about Factorio lore? It's sort of, just something fun to speculate about, really. But is that sulphur there as well? Or is that, looks more like concrete. No, I'm sorry, rather. But yes, so that video is available for members right now, and it stays a member exclusive for the next month. And that is my intention with the videos. If they ever bring back the Friday Facts, if they ever decide to do a 2.1, and they decide, we'll do a couple of Friday Facts explaining what's going on, then, because they're still doing a lot of bug fixes on Factorio. The big bug fix lists are pretty big. When you read them through, they're all tiny, minor stuff, but so they're clearly doing a lot of bug fixes. There's also some tweaks going on with balancing, I think. Oh, nearly. There's an achievement for running yourself over. Thank you very much for the follow, CJ Gaming 420. Kind. What was I saying? Yes, but it gets you early access to the videos. And this first one is start of a new series speculating about Factorio lore, in particular. What the engineer is is the subject of this first one. I can't remember why we're here. We're completely in the wrong place, aren't I? I'm supposed to be over at the other site. But I'm also supposed to be taking sulfur and coal with me. If we've got room. So, sulfur and coal. Oh, and of course the powder as well. Okay. Cool. Yes, so if that's anything you are interested in, it costs £4.99 per month. I do not have a clue how YouTube does regional pricing, so I don't know what that is in any other currency. But yeah. £4.99. It's about 60 quid a year, basically. I'm hoping, and somebody has signed up. PT Dog has become my first member. Very kind of him or her, and I'm hoping that it kind of inspires me or spurs me on, because somebody's paying me to do something to make more videos. Because one of the things I've been struggling with is that I kind of need a deadline, basically. The thing of the Friday Facts that was so useful with them was that it had to be done. You know, if I didn't get it done by the end of the week, then it wasn't a Friday Facts anymore. It was just some video, and it turned out was hugely useful for me. It's the kind of hard work videos. Anytime you're ever kind of slagging off or thinking of slagging off someone on YouTube, if it's any kind of edited video or anything like that, then they've put in a lot of work. Or I guess they probably paid an editor if they're any kind of sizable channel. And that editor has put in a lot of work. Okay, so how many did we need of these? Because these are quick. Hello, Rick Cole. Welcome to Tree. Oh, and you've... thank you very much for the membership as well. It's very kind, Rick. Thank you, thank you. And, sorry, hopefully you'll enjoy your badge and stuff. I want to replace them with something a bit more bespoke, as it were. But yeah, enjoy access to the video. And as you see, you also get a highlighted message in chat. I've obviously launched, because it's me, I've launched it at the most terrible time, because I'm about to take a 3-week break. So I'm not going to be able to promote them or anything like that. But yeah. I can't remember how many of these I needed. To-do list says 50. Okay. I'm wondering if I could maybe dash off and grab a slug, maybe, because I think there's one that's on this platform over here. This not platform. This yeah, there we go. There's one on the archway, so we could just maybe stick one in if I can manage to not fall off of that. And just speed it up a little bit. Oh, of course there's a thing as well. Why wouldn't it just be a nice simple... Where the other one's gone? I guess they must have hit me. Yeah, it couldn't be just a simple parkour type challenge, could it? Testing indeed. You get so your name gets coloured, and as you say, you get that free. That's like I don't know what they call it. In fact, did it notify me about the membership or the special message? I'm not sure I've set all of those up properly. That's a point, because I have to do them separately. Basically, it's all a bit annoying. Separately to the Twitch ones. Okay, let's build a... Is it a crafting bench? I can never remember. Yeah, let's pop that on. Build ourselves... In fact, I might as well just leave that there, mightn't I? And then we'll go over here. Stick a power shot in there. Oh, we're already at 64. That's okay. But then I want to actually make some ammo. Or I want to see if I can make some ammo. Because the recipe used to be horrendous for making the magazines. Because you used to have to put... they used to have like map... So when you tag the map, you had to actually build a thing that you would put on the ground, basically. And you used to actually use them in the recipe for ammo. It was just it was the most bonkers recipe. It was like, well, why would that be... Why would you stick those three things together and make ammo, you know? Okay, so that's got that in. We shouldn't have any power problems with just leaving that going. Because there should be tons of capacity, yeah. Yeah, loads of headroom. Is this... Yeah, okay, so there is a bit of fuel kicking about. This machine is working, which implies we've not actually filled up. Can't get around to the container. Oh, it is a big one. Okay, let's grab some fuel as well then. Like so. And then... see how much we've got of this. So this will obviously stop, you know, when it runs out of powder and stuff. So it'll just keep going. Turn all of that black powder, of which there is quite a bit, isn't there, into smokeless powder. I've got a weird drop down on the... Hang on a sec. What's that showing? Oh, fan funding. Super chats, super stickers, channel members gifting. I've got extra tab. Cool. What am I doing? I need to set that back up. I'm not hoping. In July of this year. No, that's wrong. There we go. July of this year. There we go. I finally pay off a debt that I've had to my dad for about the last 6 years. I won't get. If you look back on a lot of streams, I kind of revealed more than I should. Really talk more about it, but I managed to get myself into a lot of debt at one point. Basically, don't go to university. You'll end up in a lot of debt. I don't mean that at all. But yeah, I managed to not do a good job of managing my finances, and he kind of bailed me out. So I've been slowly repaying it, and after a couple of pay rises at my current job. So I'm a bit reluctant. You know, I was saying last week about my job getting nerfed and cancelled and all that sort of stuff. That's why I'm a bit reluctant to kind of look for a new job at the moment, because although I don't think I'm paid what value I deliver, I am pretty well paid compared to some salaries I've had. But in July I pay him off finally, and so I'm finally going to upgrade some of my streaming stuff. Get this microphone that I've been banging on about wanting, and the new case for the PC so that it's a bit easier to use and stuff like that. Get a couple of new monitors as well so that I can manage the chat better and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know why I mentioned that, but certainly by Christmas I'm hoping to have a nice upgrade. It's part of the whole slimlining things as well. I was talking about yesterday where I own far too much stuff, so I want to get some smaller, more compact, you know, easier to transport stuff rather than the big clunky, you know, 15-year-old bits of kit I've got. So I got 100 smokeless powders, which will certainly get us 50 for the motor, for the actual research. I've got. Let's grab some rubber. I know I've got loads, but it's backing up ridiculously, and I'm sure it'll be used in something. So let's grab that rubber. Can we take some pooters as well? See, it makes them pretty quick, the booters. Let's see. I'm taking these because I seem to remember they're like used in the AI limiters or something like that. So having a bunch of them isn't going to hurt us. They might as well have some plastic. But yeah, idea will be to get some trains going basically. So we'll have like trains coming here and either taking it to the other base or taking it to a new base or something like that. Because I think this layout's all right. I don't think I want to refactor this. I probably want to rework the belts. I like the oil ones. Okay, I think that's okay. But yeah, it's the main base I think where I've. Oops. No. No. Where I've spaghettified it just to get the whatchamacallit done, the research. Hmm. 2 members, crikey. My German also resubscribed on Twitch. I don't know if they watch on catch up or they've just forgotten to cancel, but that's very much appreciated as well. Once YouTube and Twitch have taken their slices, I might be able to afford a cup of tea or something with it. I'm kidding. It is very, very much appreciated. Very kind. So yeah, once we got this one, hopefully it's made enough. It won't have, will it? Large frames for us to do the bigger blueprint designer. If it hasn't, I don't think it matters because I'm really just going to design like a pillar basically that I can just sort of pop down and put train tracks on. But I kind of want to do some train building first, if that makes sense, just to actually get a feel for it. Ooh. You know, just try sort of build a short bit of track, and I don't think I'll be able to do anything like a T-junction. I don't think that'll fit in the 4x4. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Can't crash into that, can I? Oh, I can't get through there. Let's go this way. Oh, spider might be back as well. I can run one of them over, maybe. Oh no, that's a different place. Is it? Yeah. There's something there that it didn't really like in terms of the terrain, because it keeps flipping me around. Okay. Now. 12. Wow. That's rubbish, isn't it? I think we had, was it 5? And we need 100. Yeah. So it's screws that it's lacking. Which is kind of what I was sort of expecting, because you know, we've just got one assembler making the screws. Hmm. Hang on. Yeah, okay. So it looks like we're not going to get the level 5 blueprint thing for a while. Need to go in there today. But for some reason in my head I had a lot more of them already built. Yeah, looks like they're going to be a bit slow. Yeah, so we had 50, so we've got 26, so about a quarter, only about a quarter of the way there. Oh well. Let's do this one then. We need. Let's take all of them. Put that rubber. Yeah.
Rifle and rifle ammo unlocked. A long-range weapon and rapid-fire ammunition, only to be used for the defense or acquisition of fixed property. Conveniently, this includes everything of value on this planet.
Explosive rebars. Wow. But yeah, I just noticed that there's another one of them there. We can almost afford it. That's annoying. If we were looking to make a guns, a rifle, we could certainly do that. I know everyone says the rebar gun is just like way better than the. I can make 360 of them. Nice. It's way better than the, rifle, but just kind of prefer the rifle really. What do you stack to? Something quite high. 500 maybe? Oh, run out. Crikey. Yeah, so if I pop, say... Problem with the other one is the reload time for me. Put that there maybe. It'd be better if... that way around maybe? So if we could get something like, we have explosive ones there and... the... Sexy guns. Guns. Let's find it. Try and find something to shoot. See how quickly it runs through the ammo. Maybe if we go over here where there's a couple of resource patches. Or not? Where are they? Behind this little bit here, maybe? Here we are. No hogs. I see no hogs. Okay. I could shoot you, but you take millions of bullets to kill, don't you? There we go. See, just a couple of shots and it's gone. Still moving though. Just the one, is it? Just the one? Just the one? Okay. Yeah, I prefer the rifle, as I say. Okay. Next job then, I guess, is working on some rail stuff. If we use maybe this sort of area, whoops, how big? This area here. What do I actually need? So the actual train itself, we would need frames. Same with that one. Because station is, I think, isn't that too big to go in the blueprint designer? Let's have a quick. Oh, I'm the wrong way. We should get rid of these clouds now, these fart rocks now. So it's too big. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons they introduced the 5x5 and 6x6. Because it don't fit in. Yeah, none of them do, in fact, then. Okay. Oh, no, not even the empty platform. But I suppose that makes sense because it's wide, isn't it? As we place on track. I guess let's just do a quick test as to whether... Cannot we place at the end of a track? Well, I'm not trying to place it at the end of a track. Whatever. So if I was to rail test, call it that, say, because it's got a cost on it, which implies that it's going to work because there's literally nothing else. Blueprint saved. Okay, so if I then go and go over here, we'll give ourselves a platform here then. Blueprint rail test. Ah, it does work now. Okay. Aha. So rail wasn't part of blueprints before. It's a terrible, terribly aligned rubbish blueprint. But okay. It does beg the question of whether 4x4 is going to be like useful for building anything. So, because what I was thinking of doing, basically, is just like building a very, very simple platform. Not to get all, you know, fancy with it. I don't have any, you know, like, what you would call it, type pieces, do I? Got the pipeline 2s there. Because they're all, I think, in architecture, aren't they? I'm looking at, because they're like these thin blocks, basically. Or thinner. And really I need to make it out of them. So what we could do, since we've got loads and loads of those frame pieces, we could feed them into the awesome shop. Hmm. You know, if we put them into this thing. Oops. Because I'm sure they're more useful to put in there than the screws I was putting in. Let's see if we can do that then. See how many we get. I think it diminishes their value, doesn't it? So the more you put in, the less valuable they are. So if I say delete that and that, because all of this needs pulling up anyway. I'm tempted to keep them as they are quite expensive. But let's see how many we can get. So if we put these in, I also had two. I had like 2 in a box over here somewhere. You see, my Factorio instincts do pay dividends. Stick it in a box and then you can turn it into coupons. I should get rid of them as well. We've already got 15. Wow. 16. Oh, I didn't take them, did I? Or did you get them automatically? Oh, no, it's... Okay, unless you pick them up. Wow, look at that. 18 already. So, what I was after... had to cycle that for it to show it. Was... Is it foundation? No. Architecture. Here we go. So, what would we... Didn't say what they cost. So 5 of the steel ones. And I'll go back. There we go. No. What are you? You're 5 concrete. Okay, that's probably more what we want. Oh, we can get both. And then maybe, I guess they're iron plate and that, so... We have untold riches. Let us spendthrift our way out of it. Do I want any of them? Construction fences. Okay. I seem to remember them being quite useful. Let's just add that on as well. Let's go absolutely mad and just spend. I bet it'll make loads more as well. Don't want the parts, do I? Do I want any of these walls? I probably won't get into the whole fancy pants stuff. Some of it stuff that looks great, I mean, especially when you put the old... We could get the lights. Maybe these boxes and stuff. I mean, that's pure cosmetics. Let's put that on there. Let's get rid of that one. So that's 21. Okay. 16. There we go.
Fun fact. Architecture was invented when people began building buildings. If it had been invented slightly beforehand, perhaps more old buildings would still be around. Humanity sometimes lacks vision.
Not sure I follow logic on that one. So we've got 10 more. Okay. So that gives us 12 in total. We could do the silly cart thing. Because that's like 10, I think. We've got 12. Is there anything actually useful? Mark II power things. Oh, yeah, we could maybe do these. Hypertube bits. Aren't they quite expensive? Oh no, one of them. So we only got 3. I guess I could add them on. I already got the clean pipe. And maybe the pipe too. So that's all of the management stuff. Organisation. How many coupons we got left? So 8. It's got 4 potentially left. Yeah, I don't fancy any of them. Walls. They're quite expensive. What else we got in architecture that we might want? Could go with the beam pack, maybe. That should get us to 12, yeah. No smart aleck remarks from Ada. All that from just, you know, a few of them. Crikey. So yes, while I was... I keep forgetting you can't quite jump on top of them unless you're running. What I was thinking was something along the lines of... What have we got then? Are they under walls or foundations? No? Architecture, there we go. All of our lovely bits and pieces. Frames, beam supports. All of this stuff here. It's just something, you know, because we've got loads and loads of concrete. Loads and loads of iron plate. Could maybe use the big one because that is, you know, sort of worth having. But, you know, I could just put in like 3 of those. And then we have, I say, maybe a frame floor or something like that. Do I want it wider? Or... There are ways of moving these around, aren't there? I seem to remember. Don't you use the arrow key to nudge it or something? I can't. Yeah. If that was the platform there, well, I don't have a half-size one. No. And then the idea being that we could maybe put a 2-way rail, you know, on either side. It's obviously not going to let me, but we could maybe do it the other way. Or I could make this a proper platform, couldn't I? Like so. And then... Now, are you going to behave? What would we actually want it to do, though? Is that straight? I can't tell. I think that's straight. Do I want it there? That's quite wide. Whoops. Whoops. Need to do that. Oh, yep. See, this is where the 3D building gets really annoying for me. Do. Could put it maybe Oh, I need it to be the other way around, don't I? No. They're agnostic with direction, aren't they? Come on. No, come on. Come on. There. Because the rail doesn't, like, I don't think, respond to the whole shift and control and stuff. It doesn't do straight lines unless you happen to have drawn a straight line. So I ended up putting that. It's not on the central bit. It's one over, I think. If we start it on that side. No, I did that the other one, didn't I? There. To there. Question then is whether this leaves enough room for signaling. I don't think it does. Because, yeah, they're going to over... So I wanted one on each side. You know, because I'm going to do left-hand drive. So if I wanted, you know, one on that side, it's too close, isn't it? It does need to be one further over. Can we get it to do that? No. Can we get it to do that? Can we get it to do that with it there? No, because it'll clip to the end. So, there, to there, and partially open. Oh. Well, that's not my fault. How is that my fault? Ah, fell through the gap again. Let's put one of these on this side. Obviously, eventually we'll get the electric, whatever it's called, electric version of the... You see, I know, but let me at least build it, and then we can... Oh, can I rotate it? No, I can't rotate it, you see. You're being very annoying. Why was it fine on the other side, given I put it on the middle? I guess because it pokes out, doesn't it? How can I get it to do that? Maybe if I... No? It'd be better actually if they were in the middle anyway. Because then I think it'd let me do what... Oh! I saw you then. You snapped to something. No. 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 Because oh. What? What kind of madness is that you're doing? What kind of madness is that? I can see it. You're going blue occasionally. There you go. No, no, no. Is that straight? That doesn't look straight. But it's not actually where I want it, is it? Maybe if we just go with the like, normal, more normal thing. Doesn't glass... No, it needs steel as well. So if we just go with a regular old foundation, then I can at least stand on it. Oh, you can put them in the middle of it, can't you? I forgot that. It'll let you sort of clip them together. can't you do it? Yeah, if we do that. Why are you not? Well, do it one way around, but not the other. Okay. So we put that in. No, no. How does this not drive everyone mad? There we go. Then I can at least stand on it. In fact, it might. It's going to play ball better with the... No? No. Let's go and see if we can get on top of that then. So, we have that be there. Like that. And that. No. Now that... no, no. Nearly. I don't think that's straight, is it? Looks straight. And then... signals. Signals. No. Signals. We'll go in the middle. Awesome. Now to just painfully repeat that on the other side. Okay. So if I go... no, there. So you can't tell which is straight. Is that straight? Damn you, third dimension. Okay. Then on this side. There. No. 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 Aha! Gotcha. Okay, so signals will fit in the middle there. With pain and suffering. Cool. What I'm wondering is, can I integrate hypertubes into it, basically, see? So can I don't want the intricacies and stuff here, but we could do maybe wall support, hole, floor hole, stackable. Yeah, we could maybe, you know, we could put, that's the wrong one. The supports on the edges with the actual, because that's just iron and concrete, you see. This is where it gets more expensive, the old, because they require steel pipes, but then we've got like 1 billion steel pipes, give or take. It's unpacked, you know, I couldn't go through it, as it were. But if I'm connecting things together, can we sort of use this as our thing? And I'm thinking maybe we just get rid of those ones. Oops. No. It kind of gives me a little bit of a safety thing for when, you know, when I put one in where I want to actually pop out. And once we get the connections and, you know, junctions and stuff like that, probably be actually better going underneath. Because there's like the holes and stuff, aren't there? How would what would be a good way of getting down? We want a ladder, basically. Attached to maybe this somehow. I could. Depends how. Because obviously, you know, there is no structural support in the game, so I could literally take that out and put in. Where is it in our architecture? The ladder. Put a ladder. Oh, we didn't like that. Why didn't we like that? There we go. I can't actually get up there, can I, though? Okay. So that ladder position is not good. But we could put it on the side. Well, we could on both sides, I guess, wouldn't it? I wonder if you're happier. Oh, you're happier doing it from the ground, are you? Okay. I've got a ladder saying, whoops. No? So. Oh, it's inside the actual. Huh. I wonder why it's done that. It was alright on this side, wasn't it? Yeah. Weird. I just. Oh, I guess it's clipping to. Or it's attaching to the sort of edge, if you see what I mean, but doing it only on one side. Ah, there we go. So I need to rotate it round. Interesting. So I could have, you know, if I needed to get in, as it were. We could do that there. But isn't there a floor hole that lets the ladder through? I seem to remember. I don't think I've got that though, have I? Something like that. I'm guessing if I put that on, yeah, it would block the ladder. I could I? Could move the ladder, offset it a little. Would that allow me to get up? There we go. Problem solved. No. And then... Okay. Oh, I need to turn it around again, don't I? There we go. There. So I'm not at all fussed about aesthetics on this. I'm just thinking about this as a kind of template for using it. And then we can have one, you know. In fact, if I was to put one of those there. What is that then? What have I done? That's a hyperjuice support. Why is that one closed off? And that one empty? Interesting. So we want transport. Paper tubes. Because the supports, as I say, are super cheap. Cool. We could just test it. I don't think it'll let me do that actually. So if we go hypertube, entrance, there we go. So I put one of those on. Well, let's put one down here somewhere. Let's extend the platform and put the entrance on. Connect the tube up. Oh, wrong way around. Entrance that way. So I think you have to have them on both ends. Oh. Connected to... Okay. It's because it's a blueprint. Right, let me connect it. That's fine then. The next question with it, though, is power. Because I could run power poles down it. Power. We do have the big power towers. I'm not sure those aren't too big for this, are they? The design. Can I build another design? No, I haven't got enough frames. Okay. But yeah, we could have power going down it as well. Let's say these guys are kind of what we want to do, really. We don't really want them in our blueprint grid. It's just that they're quite expensive with the whole steel, whatever they are, beamy things. Whereas these are just dirt cheap. Could even use the outlets, I guess. Because we could have power kind of going along the underneath a bit. I wonder if that would go all the way. Yeah, not as reach. Because having something like that would make it easier to connect any entrances and stuff. Even if I connect it to a big, big power pole grid. Speaking of which, it's probably easier if it has a connector in the middle as well. Oh, it's weird how that's buried. I wonder if... Can I connect it to that one instead? Oh, there we go. Well, that looks quite funky. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. So we then have power available. If we want to attach something here, like a new entrance or, what have you. Excuse me. I think I'm going to leave these ones in because, say, if I do put an entrance in, I'm going to need somewhere to stand or an exit. Yeah, leaving the hole lets me get in and out. Okay. There we go. So a piece of rail. So we want to call it rail testing. We want to call it just a rail. What do you call them? Rail. Platform or something? No, a rail. So it's just got a platform. That's not right at all. Okay. Icon then. If we go with just one of them. And it feels like I could do with a colour. Maybe a lovely pink of some description. So save that one. Now, we should therefore be able to build... Oh, it's kept that one. Okay. Just like bits of rail. It's giving me an arrow direction on the side. That's a bit weird. Oh well. It would be good, I think, to have something that... I suppose I know I've only put the power things on one side, haven't I? But yeah, the point is, what I'm hoping is with 1.1, we'll kind of be able to build, we'll be able to build one there. Oh, look, the rails are... Oh, no, no, they're not. And then we'll essentially be able to, connect it in some way. And they'll actually be connected, because that's sort of the problem with it. I think I could stick this next... Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Again, I believe, I can just put them next to each other, but the rail won't actually be connected in this. Certainly the hypertube bits aren't. I had a blue line. It gave me a blue line for a... Oh, there we go. Alignment 1. Because if I do that... No. 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 If I do that... I don't think those bits of hypertube are connected. I don't think these rail pieces are. Can't really test it with rail, I don't think. I should be able to test it with the hypertube. Assuming the fart gas doesn't kill me. Let's see. I'm not actually anticipating putting them this close. But it's more just a question, really. You're gonna kill me, aren't you? Let's put a... Let's Novelesque you then. Oh, no, wrong thing. I need to put that in my hand. There we go. No. I'm gonna dash over here. Tuck you in. Run back. There we go. Okay. So, let's put an entrance down. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Where's the entrance? There it is. So put you on there. And then connect. Hopefully. It'll let me do it on there. And then... Where's my power? Where's my power? There. Don't think it lets me go in, or does it? Oh, it does. Yeah, you see it spat me out halfway down because these aren't actually connected. What I've effectively done is build one on top of the other. Let's see if taking one of them out fixes it. But that's what they put in 1.1, that they do properly connect. Yeah, poops me out, you see. And I'm pretty sure that's the same with the rail. Yeah, these are separate pieces of rail. I guess we could try and build a train on it and see what it does sort of clipping wise. It won't let me actually build it. Nope. But it sort of lets me put it on all the bits of rail, even though I can't build it at all. But yeah, although they look connected, they're not connected. And that's how I wouldn't want them that close together anyway. What could, I mean, we could have like a, no. Because it seems quite wasteful to have that many signals on, because each one is a computer. Then I could just delete them, couldn't I? I say I don't really want them that far apart. That close together. Let's take you out. Let's take you out. Get rid of these bits. The question then is, how far apart can I actually build the rail? How long can I actually build the rail between them? Because I should be able... We could get fancy. We could have like a bit on the bottom as well that I attach them to. So, you know, if I want to go from, say, this doesn't appear to align to the grid. But what we could do, I guess, you could have a foundation, snap that to the grid, and then like put a fancy thing next to it. I'm saying fancy, it's basically just one of these. Something like that. Except that won't snap to the side. Interesting. Do. Would any of the pillars do? Oh no, they don't snap. Do you snap to the side of the side? Sort of. Oh, no. Get rid of that. Because that's on its side, isn't it then? That's sideways, that's not actually vertical like that. See, so we can put something like that in. And then it's grid aligned. And we could put the blueprint on top. Are you gonna? No, you're not. Oh, crikey. You're not liking that? If I build one of these. I said I wasn't going to get fancy, didn't I? And here I am getting fancy. Is it under... Oh, no, yeah. I'm actually just more curious why it isn't instantly snapping to it. Oh, there we go. It is just an angle thing. Okay. Boop. That cuts it off. Okay. And then, so if I just draw or build a foundation, say there. Well, if we build like, yeah, let's build one there. And then we need to repeat the same malarkey. So that was like, I don't know where I put it, did I? Didn't really put it in the middle, I don't think. Just slapped it on. But yeah, if it's there somewhere. And we have a pretend under there we go. No, yeah, no. Like that. And then we build a blueprint. Yeah, it feels like you've got to be looking down on it to get it to line up properly. That's very annoying. So we probably need to build in like a whole string of lookout towers. I guess I could, because the wait for it to finish. There you go, you see. I say I believe this is what they've basically added. That it'll automatically connect them up. That looks alright, doesn't it? And I say, these are very expensive, so I probably then just chop a couple of them out, basically. Or expensive for where we are now, because each one's a computer. But yeah, the question is kind of how long it will let me build those. Because that was a lot long. I didn't think it'd like that. I thought that would be... Nah, it's too far. I wonder if I can work it out by... So, if I put in the rampage here... Oh, you're going to clip weirdly, are you? Okay. I'll put you there, right? So that's 10 meters. I guess it's not because it's poking over the edge. It's 1, isn't it? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess it's only actually like 9 apart or whatever. So if we go blueprint mode like that, I'm just wondering if I can easily kind of work out what the sort of max distance is that it'll let me do. Because I don't need to mess about putting that platform in. I can whoops. Let's build one of these over here. Taking elevated rail from Factorio to the next level, I say. Yes, indeed, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. It really is just elevated rail, isn't it? There you go, you see. Factorio, they just give you elevated rail. This, you've got to go through some kind of insane process to make your own. Which I can see why people love the designing of, but wowza. Why does that not look like it's gonna lump? It isn't, because there's one extra of those on top. Okay. Okay, let's get, yeah, because that's the blueprint there, isn't it? So, no, if I switch to that, get rid of that. Oops, switch to blueprint mode. There we go. So, if we blueprint that there, and it's not going to be on the middle, but oh, come on, come on. I think that's in the middle. No. Because controls. There we go. I think that's the middle. But we know that. Excuse me. We know that. That goes out like. Do we know that? Let's go and have a look. So the edge of this is there because it's on a. This is like a 3x3 platform, isn't it? Yeah. So the one where it actually starts is this one. This is like the how long the rail can be, like starter of the yardstick. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they're not connected, look. And I don't want to get rid of my thing I'm standing on. So, yeah, so, because what I'm thinking it's probably 10 meters, or 10, platform pieces. They're each like 4 meters long or something. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this one would be the equivalent of that one over there, that gap. Is that right? Is that selected? Yes, that's me selecting 10. So if we now put in this one here, and easy to get that in the middle, obviously. Will it let me connect these? Yes. So it's perfectly happy with them being 10 platform, that piece of rail being 10 long. 10 segments long. Okay, so can we go longer? That's what she said. So, are we going to do it one by one? If we put that, then that needs to be there. Will it let me do that? Yeah. Okay. Is the limit 12 then? This new blueprint deletion is very, very, very funky. Factory I could do with that. Unless it's already in and I don't know. So then, if that's in the middle there. It's fine with that as well. Wowza. We're going to run out of things because this is going to go into the mountain. The hill. So how many is that then? Whoops. 12. So that's 12. Okay. So it's quite long, isn't it? Again, that's what she said. Let's put another one there then. So that it'd be there. Get out of blueprint mode. Put that in. More to remind me that. Ah, there we go. That's too long. So 13 pieces is too long. So it can do 12. I don't think that's too bad. That's a good distance apart, isn't it? I would assume... Well, let's test it. That's what this is all about. So if we do angle, basically. So if we go one over... Well, we need to be there, don't we? Not blueprint. There we go. Take that out. So we know that this is where... if it's straight, it'll be happy with that one. So can we start putting curves in, or is it like a distance, or Because obviously, if we're doing a Pythagoras thing, we're doing a triangle. So although it's going through a spline type curve, that hypotenuse is longer than either of the two other pieces. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, and all that sort of Greek math magic. Cool. So, if I guess I should check the hypertubes as well. But why would they make them different? But yeah, we will check the hypertubes as well. So if I connect that to that... Oh, so it is alright with a little bit of a curve. What about the hypertubes? What about then? So it's okay with that connecting, look. Okay. It suggests that actually it's not 12, basically. It's longer. If we go one further over, are you happy with that? Because we're going to need to go around a lot of curves, basically. And I would quite like not to have to mess about. Okay, oh, no, that's okay. Huh. You'd think at that sort of distance you're getting into the equivalent of the 13. Interesting. Blueprint mode. Pop it there. Platform. Oh, I did not put that in exactly the right place. So I'll go again, platform. Okay. Railway. It's okay with that as well. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if it's because it's got a double curve in it. So it's not counting it the same way. Okay, so that is too long. Railroad track is too long. But effectively we can go 12 that way. But also, what's that then? 1, 2, 3. I don't know how I count that. I guess it would be, it is pure. No, because it pokes out, doesn't it, one? So it's actually sort of there. So we can go then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 that way by 12 that way. So it's 16. What's the square of 12? You can do the maths in here, can't you? I can never remember how to bring it up. Did you enter? So it would be 4 by 4, so that's 16. Oh no, that didn't do the maths, is it? I can't remember which one does the maths. Is it in here? Oh, it didn't matter. So it's not right anyway, because it'd be a curve. But okay. So that means when I'm going, when I'm connecting them up, I suppose the other question would be, what happens if I, rotate it? So if I go, not like that. I don't know which way would be the good rotation. If I do that, can I connect it then? No, it hates that, doesn't it? Get out of it. There you go. Oh yeah, it's way off. So if we're doing corners at all, so if we put one there, oh no, it doesn't like that at all, does it? Probably more to do with too long. So it's the sharpness of the turn is a problem. Okay. So if we wanted to do something like that, I wonder if we could go halfway. So we'd go 1, 2. Let's actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these two, those are the middle. I'm quickly going to run out of room on time. So if I put that there instead, I'm just wondering what I can do with corners, basically. Do I need some other separate piece? So if we were to say, so it'd need to be there, I think. That's effectively a right angle? No, it isn't, because I've only put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, haven't I? So we need, because we then need to go to there, really, I think. So it'd be that one. Yeah, so it's happy with that. There we go. Those are lovely curves. Oh, I like them curves. That's good. We are going to get a weird thing where, there's no way this... yeah, this is... It's not going to support the weight of a train in real world, but it doesn't matter. What does it do with a hypertube? Does that do a nice curve? No. No. Really, no. Okay. So taking the hypertubes around curves might be interesting. We could always just stick in like a temporary... What is this? This is, put something here. Oops. Was it 3 I did? Something like that. Yeah, I don't really care about the hypertube side of it. The hypertube side of life. Can you stand on the rail? Oh, okay. Okay. Which one counts as the entry on which the exit? But yeah, if we put one, say, angle like that or something, I think we'd avoid... Oh, it's done it the wrong way around. Why you won't do that? Yeah. Oh, that's more like a proper curve, isn't it? You can run along that. It's not as good as the other, not as good as the rail one. It's not far off. And then I could just, we could just have a floating thing. Or I could just leave it there. Stop being finicky. Yeah, whatever. Cool, okay. You don't make any noise when you're running on the track. It goes floating along. Okay. Happy with that. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, obviously. That's not what I'm going for. I go for something that I can lay down. As for the other side of the thing, as in putting it on the floor, I guess really I can just put it in, we just put them, align them to the world grid, and then put that on the middle. And then if I feel particularly aesthetic, we can stick that on the bottom, basically. Is that all part? That's all part of the blueprint. So yeah, we could then do that, or put one of them in or something. Fake feet. It does cut off the ladder a bit, but it's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I was kind of expecting to have to iterate through like 1,000, tweaks and variations, but that seems like it's going to work. Famous last words. The question would be the T-junction, but I don't think I can do curves of a sufficient, that are sufficiently tight on the 4x4 one to do them. So what we could do is we could go and see if we have built enough heavy modular frames to... we're happy with that, so if we clear that down to do our next, whatchamacallit? Blueprint debris. Yeah, this blueprint deconstructor setting for is pretty awesome, I've got to say. I've got to say, well impressed with that. So all the bits... Oh, we had a thingy there, but then... Missed a bit. Cool. I like that. So we need 100. We've got 27. So we need 73 or something. Quick math. 73. Number 73. I suppose you're coming round, are you? Yeah. 23. So rather a long way short. So it's this screws that's the problem. Okay, so no blueprint designer Mark II. And that's with it on half speed, look. 1 a minute. So if we're still 50 short, that's another hour, which is beyond the end of the stream. That's why I did all these weird things, like, you know, getting on top of the manta and stuff, because that ended up being the bottleneck, and I kind of ran out of stuff to put in the boxes for the MAM and what have you. Okay. Okay, what we're going to do then? What we're going to do then? There's no point refactoring anything until we've done those heavy modular frames. We could put together something that steals these and sends them over. Because they're, you know, not doing anything now because they're whatever these are. Reinforced iron plates. And that's obviously full, that chest. So we could steal them. Wonder if it would let me put a merger there that worked. And a splitter there that also worked. Would you let me do either of those? So they're moving down the belt. Screws are still coming out here. It's horrible jank, but it seems moving a bit quicker. I say even then, even if this does hit the screw demand, it's still 1 a minute. You know, we're actually making them slower than that. Until what that? There's obviously a belt in there that I can't upgrade. Oh well. Don't know if that's worse or better. Worse or better? Okay. What are we going to do then? What are we going to do then? Oops. I could. In fact, I don't think I can actually, can I? Yeah, that's the one I tapped to get that sulfur. How far apart can the old big power poles be? So your power towers, do they not connect to the grid then? Oh, they no, they don't. But I can put them on. Okay, on there. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So how far apart can these be? Missed. So certainly longer than that. Okay. What about that? So if I go... So it looks like it auto connects them. Wow, they can be a long way away, can't they? Interesting. Each one is 20 steel, flat bits of steel. I'm wondering about building in a bit of a power network connecting all of our, like, 4 factories together. Or 5 factories, I guess. That I could then use as the, like, basis for my rail network as well. You know, so if we find some nice paths where the rail and stuff would go, we could even start building the rail, really. I didn't know that these would go so far apart. Interesting. I suppose it says, does it, in the codex or something? If I do it via here. No. How do you get the codex? Or don't you get the codex? Power mouse button. No. Always forget how to get at it. Oh, photo mode. Let's see. If I just run. Where will you let me connect? So it does look like there's a maximum. About there. Okay. Grid-wise, where does that put us? So, kinda, sorta. There? Because obviously I'm not factoring the height yet. But if we make this a dead straight one. something in the ballpark. So if I put that there, and then we put your power tower there. Oh. Connected to the wrong... Oh, of course, it's got the smaller one underneath, isn't it? In fact, I'm going to have to take you out, presumably, aren't I? Because angles probably mean it will go slightly further. Good old angles. I know him well. Okay, let's have another go. It's too far away to connect. Come on. There we go. There. So it's a slightly, ever so slightly bit longer. But this is our maximum distance, which is what? If we go that... Oh, it's not. Need to hold down control. Can I do shift and control? I can't. Okay. Ow, that was painful. It's huge, isn't it? $36, which is interesting because the other one, the distance, maximum distance, is 12. So it's a 3 multiple. So effectively, every power tower we could have, you know, it would work because angles and stuff. And the actual platform itself takes up 3. So, you know, 3 of these equivalents. So if we were to put the power towers in, this is like me building a factory, just, you know, having your power lines running down the middle of your track, basically. But yeah, we could use these as effectively the guide points. As in, I mean, I probably, you know, I wouldn't want them sat on platform because that's pointless and fugly sort of thing. But it's annoying that they sort of clip to the thing, but they won't to the side by the looks of things. So, you know, that's just sort of free floating, and control doesn't make them clip to the, or stick to the world grid. But we could put these down initially to give us our, you know, starting point for the rail system. And then I could effectively add those on top, if you see what I mean. So put those in so I know how far, you know, I know I need to put 3 rail pieces in between, connect them together, and then we can come back and just sort of take these out and make them look more natural sort of thing, in a sense. Again, I'm getting into aesthetics and stuff, even in a very minor way. The game forces you into it. Okay. I'm a bit loath to start on that process because, you know, really I need to get that. Oh, that has 4 connections, does it? Okay. I wonder if there's like a power tower level 2, because you can also go off in other directions. You know, so we can have proper junction splits and merges and all sorts going on. Will you not go on the top there? There you go. These are pretty dang awesome, aren't they? So, 36 for them and 12 for the rail. Nice. But yeah, I can put these in, basically, and then we can use this platform as the, you know, sort of starting point for the rail. Right, and then, you know, put these next to it, as it were, somewhere. So it's a bit more naturalistic. Also gives us a bit of slack, I think, doesn't it? Because it is 3, you know, 3 wide. 6 would mark the centre point of the thing. So effectively, there we go. Let's do it by the side. See if I can put one. Do that. Just test it out. Might clip through, but. I'm almost sort of hoping to do something that, you know, I build according to the grid, but then I kind of take the grid out and it looks a bit more natural. But actually it's nicely, you know, nice and grid lined. So that's annoying that there's a hill there. If we go around the side. Oh, put this dang hill here. So that's our sort of end point. Isn't it? Yeah, in there. But it won't let me build on that one, I don't think. I don't need it to then. So, if we then get this blueprint, your rail platform, and we put this here. And that we know that's, you know, like a defunct one, as it were. That's the one that doesn't count. So it's then this one. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But then it's actually that one is the defunct one. Shall I delete it? Let's delete it. And then that should go there. Goes in the middle, I think so. And they should connect. Why are you not? Ah! Why are you not doing that? Okay. Bloody cliffs. Yeah. It's the same in both games, isn't it? Cliffs. No cliff explosives. There you go. So that nicely connects. I'm almost looking forward to this. When I did it in the first playthrough, it was way over designed. You know, it was way more. It was like I was doing my aesthetic Factoria series in this. You know, it was all sorts of grids and girders and angly bits and all sorts of fancy things. And then I was like, wait. Am I saying I'm going to hand build that every time I want one of these support pillars? Because I mean, it looked, you know, it took like 3 streams. It would, I mean, I think I was only doing 2-hour ones, but you know, it was like hours and hours just to get one built. Obviously, that included all the designing, but it was like, you know, especially you can only build them that far apart, sort of thing. So to link up 2 of my factories, I would have needed like 10 of them. So I would have had to have built 10 of these things that each took me, you know, I don't know, 2 hours to build or something. Or an hour to build or even... And it was like, I'm not doing that. But yeah, so let's try... Whoops. Let's add in some more. So we know that, say, that one goes. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's counted for me. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this would be the missing one. You see what I mean? The one that's done by the edge. We get the blueprint. We go like that. Okay, no. In there. Maybe I should rename my YouTube channel Bloody Cliffs. And that connects there, you see? I don't think the maths quite works. I've not done that quite right, have I? Because actually, These aren't 12. Well, I've got 12 in there. But of course, that's 3 pieces. It doesn't matter in a sense. So this is going to be a long way short of 12. So actually, I would do like... Or I could just leave. It doesn't matter, does it? Could even just build the initial grid in and work these, make these 12 apart each time. Is that right? Or 14 apart, isn't it? I'm doing them. So if I was to go... if we go... Oh, don't connect to that one. Connect to that one. So you build the first one, and then we go 1, 2, 3. No, I can't do that. 1. So we then go... We build one. Yeah, 14. So put 1 down, build 15, because it actually wants to go here. Because when you see the big power poles in real life, you know, they don't follow any kind of grid. They're obviously set distances apart. So yeah, I could build in a grid with these pretty quickly, I think. Get them nicely distanced apart. You know, we know that we've got slack in terms of if we're doing corners and stuff. 12 works, you know, we can go, I think it was 4, wasn't it? That way. So if we need to put in corners and curves, we can do that. It's just it's a lot easier to build with these, particularly since you have vertical zoom. So if we need to go up and down height, it's like bellow, isn't it? You can just use them basically, and so it's all locked to a grid, and I just plop these in, and I can, you know, connect them up later, sort of thing. Yeah. Cool. I think I've got a system. A system. We like a system. What we don't have is Mark 5 blueprints, which I was kind of hoping we would have on Mark 5 blueprint builder. Oops. What am I doing? There you go. What else could we do? I said I'm sure it just won't fit a T-junction in or anything like that, especially not with like how wide I've done it. But we could have a look, because this was the other issue with them. It won't let you poke them out the edge. You know, so that's outside the blueprint, right? Like that. So you can build there, but it didn't let you. You know. Don't like the angles. If I do that, it then won't let me do it because it's saying, oh, it's outside the blueprint. But that's as close as I can get it. Because it'd be nice to, you know, do it off the edge just so that you can have it in a nice straight line. You can't do that. It has to be inside. You've got to be inside the lines, you see. If we then try and do, oops, any sort of curve or connection, you need, I think, don't you need junctions in this are weird. I will say that, rail junctions, because you need, I think you need a signal basically to get it to work properly. Or at least one of these. Yeah, you see the curves aren't going to work. Ooh, what if I grab them? Far too annoying. Railroad track turns too sharply. So yeah, probably if it was a like single rail, probably make it work. Go jiggery pokery. You know, start over here maybe. And I guess I could design it as a single track. No, I don't want that, do I? So I could do like, what's your minimum length, my friend? What's your minimum length? To there. Okay, so I can go one. Whoops. And back, can't I? So I can go, is it there? And you can go straight up there. So we'll just about do a curve. Where it wants to go curve-wise is there. Well, no, it won't, because it's overlapping the blueprint design. Yeah. Yeah, it's too small. We need like the 6x6 or something like that. Okay. You have a system until a computer says no. Exactly. Exactly. It's these damn computers ruling our lives. Could I make that work? So it's that minimum size to it, you see. It's too big. And then you get the curve and it's outside, which would fit in the 5x5, but not in your 4x4. I mean, you couldn't even do this before. It wouldn't even let you build rail blueprints in there. I never got what can I rotate it? Oh, it's scroll up and scroll down. No, that's not working, you see. I wonder if it's a different snap mode. No? Because the starter piece doesn't rotate. It's very strange. I don't know. You kind of have to have the curve there already. I don't know why they did like that. In fact, why doesn't that do a horizontal line? No, I can't get it to... It's odd, that. I guess it's snapped there, it's snapping... Is it connecting to the... No, you're not going to show me the vertical ones at all? You do that, you see. You have to be able to put the initial piece down. So if I want to have the, you know... thing there... Does that work? Yeah, you see, you can't build it on it to start. You've got to be inside. So, okay. I'm moaning about something that I can't do anyway. But yeah, it's got some interesting restrictions, which is good that they introduced the bigger ones because they make it work better. It do work better. Okay. Well, it's been about an hour, I think. Something like that. Probably hasn't, has it? It's been about half an hour. It's a little drum, which of course is banned now because it was funny. I don't know about that. Yeah, computer says no is, yeah. There was I'll be honest, there was some dodgy stuff in Little Britain. It was I don't know. A lot of it is, you know, just class. It's just great stuff. But some of it, they kind of, particularly in the later seasons, they just went for the whole, because they, you know, they did some gross out comedy stuff, and they kind of seem to just go down the route of, well, the grosser it is, the funnier it is. and it just became pure grossness. It was just like, you know, disgusting. And I don't know, just that seemed to be how they wanted to trigger, you know, humour, as it were, and it just sort of didn't work. Sort of stepped over the line, I guess. But then, yeah, computer says no was always a good one. So I have got 50 modular frames now. I wonder if are they stacked up? They are. So we're still short of screws by quite a long way. Is this all the modular heavy ones I've got? I can't remember. Must be. I just wonder if I can hand make a few, because there will be some screws, like in my truck and stuff. It's not that. Oh no, there's no screws there. I guess I could in slightly. Yeah, I could do my promo again on my memberships and stuff. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I'd be scratching my hair, you know, scratching my head and pulling my hair out and all sorts of stuff. But in reality, we've kind of just got that done, haven't we? Kind of just got that done. One of the things I am curious about that we could just go and check is the effect of like a level 2 miner. Because I couldn't get my head around that. So if we build a couple of them. Let's build 4. 3. Can I build... I need 10 frames. I didn't grab any, did I? Have we got any in Rambo? Oh, I did have some in here. Okay, so we got 66. We're not going to get it done by the end of the stream, but that's okay. Did I not have any frames? Have I just sort of used them all up? Could just make some, I guess, quickly. So how do you like 2.0 without Space Age? It's pretty good, actually. There's an element to it, I'll be honest. I found Space Age a little bit... I said this before. I found it both overwhelming and underwhelming. It's quite difficult to explain, but it was like there were so many mechanics in it that it was a bit sort of like, you know, overwhelming. Basically, it was just sort of too much in a sense. But you kind of used them so little, or other, you know, things like the Foundry and the EMP. You know, not so much Glebber. Glebber was, you know, Glebber was Glebber, but they're so productive. You know, they get so much extra stuff out because, you know, if it was just the I'll take power over there. If it was just the prod bonus and they just had, you know, normal number of modules or what have you, then oh great. But you know, they have loads of extra module slots and they're bigger, so you can put more, you know, beacons on them, and they obviously buffed beacons, and you know, it's sort of, you know, it was like Well, I mean, I haven't really been watching the analysis stuff, but I've seen he's done like the new, what does he call it? The grid thing, city blocks, and they're like tiny and they produce 5 times as much, sort of thing. It's sort of, you know, which is fine and good and wonderful. You know, if that's your cup of tea, in particular, then it's great, sort of thing. But as I've kind of said on a few things, that the whole number goes up isn't quite my cup of tea. So this, what patch is this? That's impure. That's impure. So with a level 1 miner, it produces 30 iron a minute. With a level 2 miner, it produces 60 iron a minute. Okay, so it does double it. Okay. So a normal patch, which has 60, is going to go to 120. And presumably a pure one goes to way higher again. Okay, let's see about doing that now, because now I've got the how much actual, I haven't got enough steel on me, but the coal one, you see, I can probably get out. I think I put a level 2 miner on it, didn't I? But yeah, so they added sort of loads of complexity just to version 2, so the whole interrupts and the stuff I'm playing with, parameterization, I just didn't touch, because it was like there's too many new mechanics here, full stop. It's just overwhelming my brain, and the fact that all these machines completely throw out any notion of how to build was just, that had already filled up my brain, basically. So this is a level 2, is it? So it's doing 240. Okay. So what would that be? It's a level 3 belt, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So these just double the resource production. Okay. So it does 270. So if it's 240, so a level 4 belt presumably would do a pure patch with a Mark II miner on it. Because that's a normal patch, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, because it's just like I can forget about, I know how to do Factoria. I know how to. Oh, that is a pure one. Is this only a level? No, that is a Mark II miner. Oh, because that's 240. But it's 120 for an impure one. Okay. So actually, yeah, that's fine then. But if it was to get a Mark III miner on it, presumably Mark III doubles again. But that's some way off. Okay. I'm just trying to think about how, if I'm start picking stuff up by train and centralised smelting or something like that, maybe, I don't know. I'll put little satellite factories or something like that. Don't know. More information for my brain. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying the version 2 playthrough, the parameterization one, because I say it's just, I can just do Factorio. It's like, yesterday we launched a rocket sort of thing, and that's only the, is it 6th stream, and I spent 3 of them, messing about with was it 3 of them, 2 of them, messing about with parameterization. It's something silly like that. It's just because I know how to do that, I just know how to do all the normal sciences. And it's only really space science that gave me a little bit of a pause, because that has changed. But yeah, that has let me learn 2 things that, I think are really brilliant. And I'm not even finished. There's the whole, can we make the prioritization, the interrupts more generic, and how far can I go with that? machine recipe setting thing doesn't seem to work quite as I was, or there's a problem I wasn't expecting there. So it's going to be fun to try and solve that if I can solve it, which I don't think I can, to get what I wanted. So yeah, I am really enjoying that 2.0 playthrough. But it does at the same time sort of feel anticlimactic, if you see what I mean, because I'm now sort of, yeah, it's like if this I can't think of a way of explaining it. It's like going, I'm now so familiar with base Factorio, and that hasn't really changed a lot. Yeah, it almost feels too easy. Well, it got to that stage anyway. I was sort of like, I wasn't ever really struggling with Factorio playthroughs. Maybe I should have played a Death World or something like that, make it more challenging that way. But yes, so it's been great actually playing that through. And it's why I want to also go to a Mega Base type level, because I think that represents more of a proper challenge, for that series. Am I still making these things? I am, aren't I? That's a bit weird. So yeah, really enjoying that one. I've learned so much with it, on some small aspects of the game. I think next I'll do another Space Age playthrough, but taking what I've learned and kind of, but also then more focus on the first one. I was just, let's progress, let's get through it. But I think also the fact that everyone sent me to Gleba meant that the evolution ramped up on Gleba, and I got a bit paranoid that the guy's coming past, that I was going to suffer. So I there's like 2 streams, wasn't there, where I was like building all the military stuff, and then we got there and it was all, they just melted instantly. So yeah, when I do the next Space Age playthrough, I'll focus more on the planets and getting them, bigger bases on them and more efficient bases, and taking advantage of mechanics. Maybe what I'd really love to do actually is a series, and it's more like a challenge run. I think I abandoned that challenge run, by the way, because I managed to sort of muddle 2 things together and it was all messy. But I'm thinking that I will. So what I'd like to do is basically see if I can build everything. You can't, obviously, but because it needs steam and things like that, you can't really do in space. But whether or not, you can do steam, can't you? Whether or not I could build everything in space, basically. So one of the hopes I'd had for Space Age, was that it was more like SpaceX, where the platforms, could move stuff between platforms, and so you could actually move all your manufacturing into space. And so can you have a proper space base, and it's just this gigantic platform, and that's where all your science is. And of course, things like the biolabs mean that that's not, not really what the best way of doing it, sort of thing. But yeah, cool. So there we go. So that's it for today. Taking a ride on a flying manta ray thingy. It doesn't seem to be bothered about me standing on its back. Hello, Snowball 1717. I'm afraid I am literally about to finish. Cool. So, if I do that, and then we go to that one, then I can save the game. 12. And shut it down, because that's very, very noisy. There we go. That's distracting for me. Yes, so that's it for Satisfactory for this week. That's it for the streams for this week as well. I am now going to be taking, as it says there, a 3-week holiday. It's quite long, but we've got Easter next weekend, so I wouldn't be streaming then. And then in 3 weeks' time, it's actually my birthday, so I'll be away visiting family. But I was explaining yesterday, I've got all sorts of stuff I need to do, so I've decided to not stream for the next 3 weeks. But when we come back, it will be exactly the same schedule. So we will be doing Factorio, the version 2 playthrough, parameterization on the Saturday, and Satisfactory, this version 1 playthrough. They might even have got, experimental version 1.1 might be in the base game. We'll have to see. But that'll be the Sunday playthrough. Both are going to just continue until, I say, Factorio, I'm thinking old school mega base scale, so I can test blueprints and test the designs and sort of stress test it a bit, and also maybe go look at the generic versions and blah 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 blah. This one I'm really just aiming to get to the end, as it were, to the doing all the space elevator, see how the story part of it ends. So yeah, both will continue on that. Both are at the point where there's grind needed, so I will probably play them between now and a month's time. I might even stream the middle weekend. I might stream something. I don't know, but I'm not intending to. But I might get bored. Yes, both are say involve grind. This one I've got to completely take the base apart, sort of rebuild it. I've got to finish the milestone as well, and then laying the train network and so build up the factories that we've already done. So I would probably do that while I'm away. Similarly on Factorio, I need to build in, I need lots more smelting and so the part of that is just normal building, I will just be continuing on with. And we'll come back with the interesting stuff, the parameterization. So that's both series. I guess just a note, if you are watching on Twitch and you prefer YouTube, or if you're watching on YouTube and you prefer Twitch, I do live stream simultaneously to both using Restream, so you have your choice of platforms. So you can take your pick there. The other thing I've been trying to promote, but I'm rubbish at self-promotion, is, let's see if I can point my finger in, is that I have launched channel memberships over on YouTube. There is also, they call them followers, I think, here, don't they? On Twitch. But yeah, so they're both available on either platform. On YouTube, it gets you a whole load of default stuff like a badge for your name and like highlighted chat messages and stuff like that. But what it also gets you is early access to my YouTube videos. There is one that's already live. I've launched it with that. And that one is starting a new series where I speculate about the lore of Factorio. So I've started with the question, so what exactly is the engineer? So that video is live for members. It will go live for everyone in a month's time. So there's a month of early access for that. The other thing I will be doing during my hiatus is working on the second video in that series. The first one is kind of heavily produced, so the others will be less complicated to do. But yeah, I say that's what it really gets you early access. A membership is £4.99 per month, or I guess your regional equivalent, but I don't know how it does that. If you wanted to follow me on socials, find out when I do, if I am going to stream or what have you, then I'll post it all up in there. I do have a Twitter account, but I do not use it. Blue Sky is where I will post. There is a Discord as available as well. There's no special perks on that for membership or anything like that, I'm afraid. I don't really use Discord, but if you did want to join, then that is there. So that's all my self-promo and all that sort of stuff. As I say, I will be back in a month, so we get 3 weeks break in my stream. So we will be back on the 10th of May. If you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.